What's up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and of course, we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily wrap after a very amazing day yesterday. What I am now titling the DSP intervention. This was not an interview, folks. It was an intervention, and yes, I finished uploading the clips. The stream is out there. If you have some time and you want to check it out, please feel free to go and check out that content. I may do one video kind of summing up my thoughts, all the highlights, the lowlights. It was an utter amazing day yesterday. It's one of those days in DSP lore that we're gonna look back at and just have a good time and have a feel good, like a feel good moment when we think about that interview. And big ups to Craig and Adam for holding Pigman feet to the fire. Big ups. Big ups, big ups. Okay, let's see what Phil has to say.
What is going on, everyone? Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Thursday, the 16th of March, 2023. A crazy different day by any standards. Today, instead of me just doing content for me and my viewers, I was on a podcast called the Side Scrollers Podcast where I got grilled. But it was, in my opinion, fair. Some people say it wasn't. I actually feel like it was, and I'm okay with that. All right, I really am. And I hope.
All right, check it out. Your boy Doody's gonna give Phil some props because everybody always says I'm very negative towards Phil, never give him any credit whatsoever. Big ups to Phil for being on the interview or the intervention for 5 hours. I give him credit for doing that. Most people probably would have tried to cut it short, especially after the grilling he received. But no, Phil hung in there and he obfuscated most of the questions, but still, he hung out for 5 hours and most importantly, 0 snorts, 0 throat clears, 0 burping. Big ups, Phil, for that accomplishment. I know you can do it. I knew you can do it. And I think you talked about you figured out the mute button on your streaming software. So big ups. You can learn something. Even gouty men that are lazy actually can learn something. So big ups to Phil. Hopefully you keep imploring that in your streams, and you don't have the need to burp all in people's faces, and you can implement that. So big ups. But seriously, big ups to Phil for hanging in for 5 hours and not really answering much, but still, it was a lot of fun to watch.
Hope that people enjoyed it. It was a 5-hour show. Holy moly. If you want to see that, you can head over to the Side Scrollers channel on YouTube, and the podcast is live, and I'm sure a ton of people will be talking about it, analyzing it, reacting to it, yada, 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 okay? It was a long thing, so because of that, my content changed dramatically today. There was 0 gameplay today. What we ended up doing was when the show ended, it was around 2:30 p.m., and I did a 90-minute video here on DSP Gaming that was basically a decompression. People just fielding questions. I'm fielding questions from everyone. What did you think? How did it go? I asked them, how do you think? And it was just talking for 90 minutes about it. I felt that it went really well as a fun, decompression style event. I had a good time with it. Thanks to anyone who watched that and attended that and supported that. That was very nice of you, because only 90 minutes instead of my usual 4+ hour stream. But people were very supportive and came out in droves. Okay. Late night stream tonight. We did something a little different. No gameplay. Instead, I did the level 1 podcast. Yeah, I did the podcast at night, meaning you will likely see this daily wrap live on YouTube before you actually see the podcast, because I didn't upload anything yet. Okay. It was a 2-hour podcast, but I covered the usual topics, including my newly.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Phil's OCD, he needs to stick to the schedule. And of course, the first thing that he has to do is always his long podcast, which, is utter garbage. But we really know why he did it. Phil did the podcast because he wanted to capitalize on the positivity from from earlier on the day. So the Dents came out in full force after his interview and definitely gave some coke tips. They gave Phil some money. I think he ended up making about $180 for like an hour and a half of talking about the interview. And oh my God, the Dents were pissed off at Craig and Adam for actually holding Goutman to, holding his feet to the fire, and they were not happy. So they came out and essentially gave Phil some tip money to hopefully, make him feel better. So what he ended up doing was he figured, oh, let me do the podcast, because he always says He makes more money on his podcast than he does on his streams, his game stream. So he decided he's going to continue to milk it and see if he can get more money, which that's what the reason why he did the podcast. It was essentially just 10 minutes of his schedule, 5 minutes of a game story, some game news, and the rest of it was Q&A where he was hoping to get the tips, and he ended up making $39. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Well, the Dents, they're like everyone else. You eventually run out of cash, and that's what ended up happening. So there you go.
Schedule, because now my schedule is dramatically different. Having no gameplay today, it's changed and shifted around. All right, but in addition to that, there's so much other stuff that we talked about, news and all kinds of stuff, and then we did like an hour or more of Q&A with everyone, and some of it, of course, was definitely relating to my podcast appearance, but a lot of it was just random questions and shooting the shit and having a good time with my audience on the late night stream. And I had a great time there too. So overall, I feel today served its purpose for sure. I had a 5-hour, interview where I answered all the questions, all the tough ones, as best as I could. A lot of people don't like those answers. A lot of people did. Some people think it wasn't sufficient. Some people think it was. It is what it is. It's out there now, and there will likely be a follow-up to that in the future as well, because we definitely didn't tackle everything, okay? So perhaps the follow-up is coming, right? But anyway, thing I have to say is that, thank you to anyone who watched and gave me a shot today. It was very nice of you. I really appreciate that. Perhaps some of you are newcomers now to my content, and you're watching it and you're having a good time with it. Thanks. Consider subscribing, because you can't talk on my streams if you don't subscribe for 24 hours. It's a rule I have around here to avoid that monstrous trolling. And we have a really good time interacting because I have that in effect, okay?
So there you have it, folks. That's what I said about Phil. The whole being on a podcast, interacting with other people, all it is essentially is for him to try to find a new audience, right? Where he can drop the pignosis and convince people that may not know about him to come over and give him a shot. Just like he just said, right? Because of course, Phil's business model requires him to continuously cycle through Dents. So you have Dents that come in for a while, drop cash, they see who he is, and they leave. Snorlax King, Rob on Wheels, the host. You guys know the names. And they leave because they get tired of Phil's crap. So he essentially has to continue recycling new Dents in. And that's his purpose. His purpose simply was to get some new Dents to come in, subscribe, maybe give them a membership, and hopefully a few of them will become new whales. That's essentially all this was for Phil.
So, one other thing that I did do tonight, I reviewed Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie, over on DSP React. Is that live as of now? Probably not, but it will go live overnight. It's my latest movie review. Watched it a few days ago. Actually enjoyed the movie. Go check out that review if you want some React style content, okay? Now, tomorrow, a very different kind of day. All gameplay, and we're not doing a level 1 podcast. Why would we do one when I just did one all night, right? So tomorrow, stream starts the usual time, 10:45 a.m. Pacific time, but we're not doing a podcast. Instead, I'm going to do like a 20-minute kind of, hi everyone, let's just chat until everyone's here. And then once we get enough people that I feel we can start, maybe 20, 30 minutes, we'll start with gameplay right away. And we're doing Hogwarts Legacy on the first stream, trying to get really far into the game, maybe 4 hours of gameplay, depending if we can fit it. And then on the late stream tomorrow night, it's going to be Like a Dragon Ishin at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, keep in mind, coming up later in the week, we got the React stuff on Saturday. If you are a member of DSP Reacts, please go nominate those videos for the show on Saturday. A lot of gameplay coming up. You want to know the skinny? Well, check out my schedule that I talked about in the Level 1 podcast. I'll also post that up here on the community tab and on my Twitter, so you guys will know. All right, sound good? Thank you all. Great day. Glad it's over, so we can get back to normal stuff tomorrow and gameplay. Thanks. Have a good night. Peace out. See you in the morning. Later.
Alrighty, so that was a lot of information there, I guess. Yes, so I just want to touch on real quick on the React content stuff. So yes, he will be doing React. He'll be doing his React stuff tomorrow, and what you're going to definitely see is you are going to see a dip in memberships, because of course when he first started, he ended up getting, I think, about 15 to 20 gifted memberships, which we know no one's going to re-up that. I think last week he was at 70, I think, or something like that, or close to 70. So you may see a drop. You may see a drop of about 20 or 25 members. So he'll be down to 50. And of course, he'll just, he'll spend his time begging for memberships for that channel. And that channel is going to suffer the same way DSP Gaming is now. And I'm assuming he's probably going to try to do gifted membership goals for the DSP Reacts. He may do that. He might try to do like mini goals or something like that. He's doing that now with DSP Gaming with the daily mini goals, but it's not working. I think he got up to like 390 for his DSP Gaming, and it's back down to like 370 or 375 or something like that. It keeps dropping because the only way this channel survives with as really some membership is that 1 or 2 whales every month drop a membership bomb. That's the only way. So he's gonna have to come back to the reality where he's gonna have to do goals again to get those gifted membership, and he's gonna see a dip in money this paycheck, the paycheck coming up, the YouTube check, and of course he is going to be upset. And he's gonna cope. He's gonna see like, oh, I've really lost a lot of money. I don't know how I'm gonna make ends meet. And my YouTube check is what I use to pay my bills. And please consider being a member. Please consider, please. And that's all we're gonna hear from Phil. Right. So definitely check out Saturday's podcast. I will be highlighting how many members have dropped, and it should be a fun time. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.